Okay, squeezy, kuna perception watu wa Nairobi wako nayo o Kenyans wako nayo. Wanasema Airbnb ni usherati inaendelea huko. Is it true?
Well, I don't know how to answer that, but
Karibu sana Mpekuzi.
My name is Betty Dojina na leo niko hapa Kiambu Road, Videgwa kwa apartments zinaitwa Coral Bells by Savo. These apartments, most of them they are Airbnbs. So leo tunataka kujua what really happens in Airbnb na hii ni biashara inakaaje, because most people hawajui what is Airbnb, and maybe you would like to invest in such a business, or maybe you're looking for a place to stay, either long term, short term. This is the plug. Make sure you subscribe, share with your friends, and don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you. On our today's interview, we are going to talk about the Airbnbs, apartments, ama ni nyumba. So my guest today is Wambui Homes. I want her to introduce herself and maybe tell us how did she start and what is Airbnb in the first place.
hello. Thank you for having me today. My name is Wambui from Wambui Homes. I started this business in 2020, June
Okay.
or July, I'm not really sure. Yeah, and so far so good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
How did you start? What pushed you to maybe think of, I can start this?
Okay, first of all, I was employed. I was working for a tours company.
Okay.
So most of us were really affected.
Wow.
Yeah, so I knew about the business. A friend of mine was doing it
Okay.
in this same apartment, and I actually was living in this place.
Wow.
Yeah, so once I asked her about it, and she gave me the basics.
Okay.
So I went online and then just researched on it. It was not that big when it was maybe that big, but I had not really heard about it.
Okay.
So I did my research, and I went ahead and just started it.
Wow. Yeah. So tell us, what are the procedures of setting up an Airbnb?
First of all, you'll have to identify the place
Okay.
that you want to start the Airbnb. Then once you do that, you have to communicate with the landlord, tell them what exactly you're doing with the business. So if they allow you to go ahead and do it, then that's fine, because most of them will not allow, even in the contract. There are those who just don't want Airbnb businesses to go ahead.
Alright.
So once you communicate with them, then you just identify the apartment, then just go ahead and furnish with the basics.
All right. Yeah. So what is Airbnb in the first place? Juu watu wengi wanasikianga tu Airbnb.
Airbnb is a furnished apartment. First of all, Airbnb is a short form of Air Bed and Breakfast.
Great.
Yeah, so it's a furnished apartment where you find people will prefer using the furnished apartment more than using the hotels.
And is it cheaper compared to the hotels, ama juu saa zingine unapatanga there are some hotels which are also cheaper?
Yeah, it's cheaper, and also I feel it's more convenient, because you see you're leaving the whole apartment to them. Okay. So they can if they want to make some food, they can use the products that you've already bought for them. Okay. Like the gas and everything.
Like the
Gas and everything.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges that maybe you have faced in this business, and what are some of the challenges that you have faced?
Okay, first of all, I am one person who trusts easily.
Okay.
So I find myself getting to trust people easily. So you find a guest will come into the apartment.
Alright.
They'll tell me, Wambui, I'm going to send the payment, but end up not paying.
For real?
Yeah.
So you have been conned before?
Yeah, I've been conned a lot of times
So
to learn.
what do you do after that?
You try to reach them, and then once you've not reached them, then you just
So
count
that
that
is
as a
also
loss.
one of the challenges that you
that
face.
is one of the biggest challenges I can talk about.
Okay, so how do you manage this place, and how many Airbnbs do you have?
I have 5 along Kiambu Road,
Alright.
2 in Roysambu,
Wow.
and 1 along Gong Road Race Course.
Zote ni 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom?
Most of them are the studios,
Okay.
and just like 2 1-bedrooms.
Okay, 1?
2 1-bedrooms.
2 1-bedrooms.
Yes.
Okay, how do you manage to pay the rent? Is it a must that you have to buy the apartment, or it's you pay monthly rent like a kawaida business?
You pay rent.
monthly?
What I'm doing personally right now, I am paying rent.
You're paying
There are those
rent.
who buy the apartment and go ahead and just furnish it, and that's fine. But if you're not in a position to do that, you can just go ahead and just rent the apartment.
But like like for example, if you're starting a business, some of the studios, or maybe if you want to set up a business in an apartment, utapata mtu anakuambia ulete goodwill, or maybe you pay like 6 months rent and deposit. Does it really happen to you?
Okay, 6 months deposit is a bit far-fetched for some apartments.
Okay.
But if you have the money, go ahead and pay for that. If you have identified the apartment and you've liked it and you know you can make some business out of it, then go ahead.
Okay. So what are some of the what are the advantages of Airbnb compared to the hotel?
The biggest advantage is convenience.
Convenience.
Because you'll find most people will prefer using they want the apartment to themselves.
Okay.
And most hotels, they offer food by selling, like you'll have to buy food. Yeah, so when you're here in the Airbnb, you'll have to just like cook your own food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then how about let's say for example, how much do you charge for the Airbnb? Like if it's a studio, how much do you charge? Is it per 3 hours? Is it per 6 hours? Is it per 12 hours? Or money 24 hours? Because there are some who charge per hour. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, personally, I charge 2,500 to 3,000 per night.
Hata hiyo niko gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my rate for the studios.
Alright.
2,500 to 3,000, depending on the location.
Okay.
Yeah. For the one bedrooms, maybe 3,500 to 4,500.
Alright.
Yes.
And mbona unasema unakoniangwa they don't pay before waingie?
So unapatanga watu wengi, because what Airbnb is an app.
Yeah.
So most people book through the Airbnb.
Okay.
But then when you get people who've come to you before, they're like, Wambui, I am your guest, like comes a lot of time, yeah? So you're like, okay, you're checking in for how many days? 5 days. They'll pay for 5 days once they check in. Then they'll tell you, Wambui, I want to extend for another 3 days. Give me until tomorrow, I'll pay the payment. You've already gotten the trust from them, because before they paid and you trust them.
Yeah.
But then again, you just find out that they just checked out without
So
your
they pay through
notice.
the hub?
No, now they'll pay you through the cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, siku hizi kuna perception watu wa Nairobi wako nayo, au Kenyans wako nayo, wanasema Airbnb ni usherati inaendelea huko. Is it true?
Well, I don't know how to answer that. But Airbnb is, you get different clienteles. For example, there are those people who've come here to work.
Okay.
So maybe they are positioned in maybe out of Nairobi, and they've been positioned to Nairobi for some business. So instead of looking for an apartment to rent, and maybe it's a short term, they'll go ahead and just take an Airbnb.
Nice.
Yeah. So I personally would say that you kind of don't know the kind of clienteles that will come or why they're there. But yeah.
Ni nini ushaipata kwa one of your studios ikakushock, ama what is that one thing that has ever happened to you in your business uka feel like hii imeni challenge zaidi? Yeah, unajibu. Is it worth to invest in a Airbnb?
Yes.
It's worth it.
Yeah. According to me, it is really worth it.
Have you ever found yourself maybe unalipa rent and ujakuwa na customers?
Airbnb is like any other business. It has losses and it has profits.
Okay.
So it also depends. What really sells for Airbnb is the way you furnished your apartment and your customer service to your other guests.
Sure.
Because if I treat you right, you'll go ahead and just come back the next time.
Okay.
So Airbnb is profitable, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
It is profitable.
Okay, apart from bed and breakfast, is there anything else you offer?
No.
No.
Yeah, just a furnished apartment and bed and breakfast.
What does it consist? Your studio iko na nini na nini?
The studio. The studio has it's fully furnished.
Okay.
It has the Netflix and YouTube. Wi-Fi is strong. And in this apartment, specific in Wambui Road, it has a swimming pool at the rooftop and a chill spot.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it is inclusive of the payment.
It's inclusive of the payment. Oh, that's nice. Then how about cleaning? How do you manage it, or who does the cleaning?
So I have a lady who does the cleaning. So if you're coming for long term, more than 3 days, once you want your apartment cleaned, you just contact me and I'll ask the lady to come do the cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about foodstuffs? Do you buy for them, like you just shop a few stuffs like sugar and all that and store them for them, ama mtu anakujanga na zake?
Mafuta iko, rice, not really. Mafuta and salt and sugar is there.
Okay.
Whatever you prefer to cook, if it's rice or ugali, you'll have to do that. You buy and then just come and use the product.
Okay. Approximately, ukicompare hiyo biashara yako na hizo all those Airbnb that you have, you said that there are 7. How much do you make? Is it something that mtu mwenye ako pale nje, I'm so sure someone is watching you, there's somebody who maybe want to invest in this business, unapata profit mzuri ama?
Si mbaya.
Si mbaya?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 2 or 3 years?
Okay, my biggest goal is to just like build an apartment with Wambui Homes, specifically that has the furnished apartments.
Okay.
So I'm really working towards that goal.
Great.
Yeah.
Umesema you started your business when the pandemic started, right? How about, what message do you have for someone also mwenye alipoteza kazi during that time? Unaweza mwambia nini?
Okay, when the job stopped, I worked with what I had because I didn't even have the money to like start the business.
Okay.
So I started with what I had. I actually started with the apartment that I was living in.
Great.
So ideas are out there. You just have to look deeper for them because they're there.
True. So where can we find you, ama mtu akitaka okay, if it's not a must that mtu atumie hizo apps za BnB. So where can someone find you?
I'm on Instagram as Wambui Homes and on TikTok. Also, you can contact our number, which is 0701 263 700.
Great. So mmesikia leo tumekuwa na Wambui Homes. I hope that this story is going to inspire you, that it's going to open your mind and start with what you have. So Wambui, what can you tell our viewers who will be watching these interviews?
First of all, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. It's amazing. We get to hear a lot of stories for young people. And if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe and share this story.
Thank you.
Okay.